Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of State Champs Chat. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Kiera.
And this is your show. We want to talk about you guys, sports, and what's trending, so make sure to send us your ideas. First, we're going to talk about what's trending, topics that are big right now on Twitter, the internet, what everyone's talking about. And first, we have to talk about the fight this weekend.
The fight of the century, Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
It was the fight of the century, kind of.
Kind of. Like, the hype was a century's hype. It was 5 years in the making, which is insane.
Exactly.
We all watched.
Yeah, we all watched.
But I thought it was kind of boring. I mean, it was 12 rounds of defensive fighting. I wanted to see someone knocked out. I wanted to see someone on their butt.
Fell asleep.
That was a lot of people's reaction.
I'm not kidding. I fell asleep. I was with like 20 people, and I fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I just
wow.
It was past my bedtime.
The most exciting part for me was the national anthem sung by Jamie Foxx. I laughed the entire time.
That was
the most exciting thing. And also, when Floyd Mayweather was like on the ropes, Pacquiao was punching him, and he kept saying like, nope. No. that was like the most exciting part of a boxing match, which I don't think should be.
I just thought it was crazy that it engrossed $300 million, and that was split between Mayweather and Pacquiao. That's an insane amount of money.
Well, the amount of money that they charged people.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for any restaurants around here, bars in Detroit area that were playing them, and there were hardly any because they were charging restaurants and bars based on capacity.
Yeah.
So they were charging them thousands of dollars. So I ended up watching it at a friend's, and it's $100 per person. I mean, that's when you think about how many people tuned in, that's ridiculous.
And there was a little controversy behind it. Pacquiao had torn his rotator cuff of his leading arm, which is kind of insane, but he hadn't told anyone. He did it a couple weeks ago.
He checked no to the question if he had an injury before the fight.
He hadn't told anyone, and it happened a few weeks ago in practice. And he asked for medicine like 2.5 hours, I think, before the fight started. Exactly. And they said no because there's like.
And now everyone's freaking out, saying people want to sue him, not only people that bet on him, but also people involved in the organization are looking to fine him, and he might get in some serious trouble.
Yeah, it was probably best for him not to say anything, just kind of take the loss, because people are upset. If you're betting on this match and you realize that your boxer was injured, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And now Mayweather's saying, oh, he was injured, no problem, I'll refight him again. Well, of course you want another $130 million.
Mayweather for the rematch, right?
Yeah. Exactly. So they walked away with a pretty penny, and Mayweather won that fight.
And nobody was very entertained.
Yeah, so good job. Tricked America.
What else is trending? Steph Curry was just named the NBA's the most valuable player, which is huge.
Yeah, I personally love Steph Curry. I think he's a great guy, a great athlete, but a great person, which is always a great combination.
Definitely, and I feel like he's a player that's been insane. Went to Davidson, which is a smaller college, enrollment of only about 1,200, I think, in a grade. But actually, his freshman year of college, his coach said, watch out for Steph Curry. He's going to be a special one. And now look, 9 years later, he's winning the MVP. He's shooting 91% from the free throw line, making insane amounts of three-pointers.
Yeah, he led the league with 286 three-pointers this season, also led the league in three-point attempts, steals, and free throw percentage. And James Harden was in the running, but he won by a landslide.
Yeah, exactly. So you go, Steph Curry. You won that.
And I thought it was really great that during his acceptance speech, he credited his father for his father was in the NBA as well. He credited him for, him being a professional on and off the court. He credited his wife. He has one daughter and a baby on the way. So he's just winning all around. Go Steph Curry.
Yeah, he rocks.
He's winning in very many aspects.
He's in a Drake song, so you're
That's when you know you've made it.
That's when you know you've made it.
Now it's time for our Athlete of the Week segment. Every week we choose sometimes a couple athletes, but always one from high schools here in Michigan. And first we're going to talk about Trey Bauer. He had 12 home runs in a doubleheader last week. He plays for Pewamo Westphalia baseball, and he was also a winning pitcher in one of those doubleheaders. So just doing outstanding right now. He's in the running this past week for the Lansing State Journal's Athlete of the Week. So we chose him as our Athlete of the Week. We've been doing baseball a lot.
I know.
Congratulations to you. But if you have a suggestion, our viewers, of who you want to be an Athlete of the Week, make sure you tweet at us and let us know.
Exactly. Congratulations, Trey.
Now it's time for some more athletes of the week.
Recruiting.
We're going to talk about the NFL draft just happened this week, and a lot of guys from the state of Michigan made it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to finally be talking about football. Favorite
Yes,
sport to cover.
Football's back. It was
It
away
is
for a
back.
little, and it's back, and now it's on everyone's radar again. Kyle Brinza played at Plymouth High School, and he played for Notre Dame, was drafted with the Lions.
He was
So
drafted
he's
with the
staying
Lions.
with Michigan. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Born and raised in this
Exactly.
area to be playing for the Detroit Lions.
Exactly.
It just has to be one of the coolest things.
And he said that in 2010 was the last time he actually played in Ford Field. He got to kick for his high school state championship, which is kind of cool. And also his fellow brother from Plymouth High School, Brennan Beyer, drafting as a free agent to the Baltimore Ravens, which is kind of cool too.
So
Awesome.
cool. And
Yeah.
Lauren caught up with him last week before the draft and talking to him about what he thought was going to happen, just catching up with him based off his high school career. So if you guys missed that, make sure to check it out on statechampsnetwork.com. Another Michigan high school player that made it in the draft this week was Devin Funchess.
Devin Funchess, he was drafted 41st overall in the second round, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And what the GM said was that you can't coach size, which is kind of true. He's 6'3", he's over 200 pounds. He's an
His hands.
His hands, the ball sticks to his hands. He's an insanely athletic person,
Yeah.
which is cool.
He did great things at University of Michigan. I think he will do great things in the NFL.
I think so too.
I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, and he played at Harrison, if you guys didn't know. Speaking of other University of Michigan players.
A lot of U of M today.
I know, a lot of U of M.
Go Blue.
There's two of them on the panel.
Well, maybe we're a little biased. Jake Ryan was drafted to the Packers.
He was drafted to the Packers. He was drafted, I think it was 129 overall. Don't quote me on that. But it's kind of cool. He was drafted to the Packers as a linebacker, where his twin, Clay Matthews, when Jake had long
When
hair,
Jake had long
he
hair.
long, gorgeous hair, and he played for Michigan. Everyone would always compare him to Clay Matthews. So now they're on the same team together. Clay is probably going to move to the inside or middle linebacker, where he could cover more space, and Jake probably on the outside, which is kind of cool.
I think it's a
So,
great fit for him.
I definitely think it's a great fit. I mean, I am a Lions fan, so can't
Yeah.
really root for the Packers, but
But
I'll
go
root
Blue?
for Jake. Yeah, but go Blue.
Continuing with our Michigan theme, but another player who played here in Michigan, played high school football here in Michigan, was Devin Gardner, who was drafted to the Patriots.
He was drafted to the Patriots, kind of following the same route that Edelman did. I mean, Edelman played quarterback at Kent State. Now he plays wide receiver in the Patriots.
Yeah.
And which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. So Devin's played quarterback for Michigan. Now he's being drafted as a wide receiver for the Patriots. Maybe he'll get some pointers from
Yeah,
him.
he'll be able to learn some
see.
things. I think he's going to do really good things at wide receiver. He has the speed, he has
does.
the ability, he has the overall athleticism.
He does.
That is, he's going to do well.
And I think he had some practice with it at Michigan. He played wide receiver for a couple years before 2012. He converted to a quarterback to be second string behind Denard Robinson. So he had some wide receiver experience that will definitely help him out in the NFL.
We'll see.
And the NFL is also making big moves with Tim Tebow.
Yay, the return. I'm excited for it.
We all know Tim Tebow.
Yes.
He was a huge impact player at the Florida Gators. I mean, he won 2 Heisman trophies, which is insane. Most people don't even get nominated for a Heisman trophy, let alone win 1. But he won 2. Gets drafted, I think, 25th overall in the 2010 draft. Plays for the Broncos for 2 years. Plays for the Jets for a year. Doesn't really do anything.
Yeah,
Which is
I mean,
insane.
He had a
I mean,
nice little stint
yeah,
for a second,
I mean,
but it
yeah.
was short.
There was high
His
expectations.
attention wasn't necessarily from his
Yeah,
playing.
there's high expectations for him. So now he goes ESPN analyst for a couple years, NFL analyst.
Pretty good gig.
And now he gets drafted back by the Eagles. Why do you think they drafted him?
I don't know. He's drafted 4th string quarterback.
4th string.
And
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. I mean, from my perspective, they're giving him another shot. They see the
Exactly.
potential.
They want
But
a comeback kid. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. What is it's
But there's
interesting.
4 quarterbacks
Yeah,
on the
it is
team
interesting.
already,
They re-signed
so.
Mark Sanchez. They did get rid of Nick Foles. He's playing for the Rams now. But he's also signed behind Sam Bradford, who's I think their first string quarterback right now, who also won a Heisman Trophy, which is like the year
I'll be
after Tim
interested
Tebow
to
won
see
his
what
too.
he does. But
Yeah, I think it's 2 extremes. Either you're really happy for the comeback, or you're really like, why would he do that? Because when he was a quarterback, they say that he only, successfully passed like less than 50%. So his record's not the best, but
Exactly.
he's such a charitable guy. He's so awesome. I'm rooting for him. Like just recently, I know prom for a lot of you just happened. He actually hosted a prom for mentally disabled kids. So he's just an awesome guy. I'm
He is a
rooting
good
for him.
guy.
I want him to do a comeback. He said
And
said
if
he's
not,
worked really hard to get back into the NFL.
he has ESPN to fall back on.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a pretty big good
2014
fallback
Exactly.
plan.
And I mean, who doesn't want to see Tim Tebow Tebowing? I mean, that's a move. Everyone knows that move. You know,
Everyone
And
knows
he's
it.
He was
Excited
one of
to
the
see that.
sexiest men alive, so, you know, that'll
So
keep
we're
me
rooting for
interested.
him, in other words. Another big thing that just happened today in the NFL is Deflategate. It's back.
again,
Yeah.
it's
It's
back.
back in the news.
It's like
Hashtag
Kyle.
hashtag Deflategate is happening again all over Twitter, all over the news. The NFL just came out today saying that the Patriots, it's more probable than not that they intentionally deflated footballs and that Tom Brady was at least generally aware.
And I thought it was interesting. McNally, who's the guy that is accused of deflating the balls, actually they found text messages, emails of him calling himself the deflator, asking other people,
gosh.
come help the deflator out, and which I thought was interesting. Brady said that he didn't even know this guy's name, didn't know anything about him.
And now it's coming out that
but
he
now
does.
it's coming out that he might have traded shoes and signed jerseys, signed footballs with this McNally guy in return for deflated footballs, which is very, very interesting.
The league doesn't know what they're going to do yet. They said they're trying to figure out what steps to take in terms of disciplinary action. Obviously, they can't take back their Super Bowl rings.
That's the frustrating part, is that no matter what you do, they still won that ring. You can put an asterisk by it, but they still won that ring, and unrightfully so. Like, this whole speculation came out before they played the game, so why wasn't it handled then? Why now? Like,
Yeah,
it's just it's
Seahawks
almost
fans
too late.
everywhere are not happy. They also said they're trying to figure out ways to combat this in the future and future protocols to have, but I mean, who knows?
So maybe he's not going to be Michigan's golden boy anymore.
Yeah, our Michigan man is under the heat lamp right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Which he
Taking
should be,
some heat.
if that
Yeah.
happens.
I'm interested to see what other information comes out, if any.
Well,
And
it'll
what
be
action
it'll
will
be
be.
in the news for the next few weeks now.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
again,
Oh, yeah.
all over. Hashtag Deflategate.
So tune into ESPN if you guys want to see more
No,
about
tune in
that.
to us.
We'll update you.
We'll update you.
Now it's time for Kira's favorite segment, Score or Fumble. I'll let you take the reins on this one, Kira.
Yes, Score Fumble is my favorite segment. And I think, since the Met Gala, we got inspired by fashion for this week's Score or Fumble. We're talking Kentucky Derby. Kentucky Derby is known for their fashion, and the hats are getting more and more extravagant.
They are.
So, ladies, do you think that Kentucky Derby fashion is a Score or Fumble?
I think it's a score. I think I would love to go just to wear one of the hats.
Yeah.
Also to see the race. But I would love to wear one of those hats because I feel like it's when else are you going to get away with that?
Exactly. I think that it could be a score or a fumble. I know that I saw pictures of some hats that were, wow. Like, you shouldn't be
Fumble
doing
so
that.
much.
You shouldn't be doing that. But I actually watched a video on it, and they said the bigger the hat, the better. The more extravagant the hat, the more toned down the dress. So you can't wear, you have to wear like a solid color with a giant hat. And that's
We're
like,
calling fashion police on this one.
Yes,
Definitely.
we're definitely calling fashion police. I'm going to say it's a score for the ladies because who doesn't like to get dressed up? But it's a fumble because now they're saying that guys are getting into it. That guys are starting to wear hats. I don't know if they're as extravagant as the ladies, but the trend is, transcending
Yeah.
to the men. So that may come on now.
they want to have some attitude too.
Some attitude.
We'll see. We'll see. It's pending. The guys' fashion is probably going to be a fumble, but we'll see.
Coming up on State Champs this weekend, it's 9 a.m. on Sunday on Fox Sports Detroit. I'm talking 7-on-7 football. It's controversial, and there's sides to both of it, and, people are talking about this spring football, and it's a big deal. So make sure you tune in and see how that goes. Also, make sure to head to our website, statechampsnetwork.com, for our UAW Chrysler Baseball Player of the Year contest, as well as our Softball Player of the Year contest and our Lacrosse Player of the Year contest. Vote on all of those, and follow us on Twitter for all of the action on all of that. And thank you guys for tuning into State Champs Chat. This is your show. We want to talk about you, what's trending in sports. So we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Thank you.